Hawks lost just barely to the Nuggets, 123-115. It was a little bit closer, and Nikola Jokic had his high 47 points for his
Yeah.
career.
And an awkward beef with Vince Carter at the end where like the game was in hand, I think 10, 15 seconds left, and Vince Carter was just playing really tough defense on Jokic for no good reason, and so then Jokic flopped to then get to the line, which I liked that sequence. That was like his nickname Joker only comes because Americans don't know how to pronounce Jokic, but that was like a good Joker troll that happened. But it was one of those games where the Nuggets win, but all the highlights are on the opposing team because Trae Young, he's so good.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
so annoying.
he's great, and if he stays there, they're going to have a good team in a few years just because he's so good.
Yeah.
It was a bad night for Murray. Murray scored some points late, but he wasn't great. Terrible night for Harris. I don't know what was going on, but he's having some issues. Barton played pretty well. And it was probably Morris's best game in quite a while.
Honestly, I've been pounding the drum that maybe Morris should be part of some trade deals because I just don't think that he's not going to have the edge when Murray is not on his game, especially in the playoffs. But dude looks solid. I hope he's able to come to form. And from the backup point position, we need like 10 points a game. And I think he had like 13 or something.
Yeah.
Porter played well, but didn't get a lot of minutes.
He got good assists. It was a good assist game for Porter, which was fun to see. He and Jokic are going to be quite the combo here in the next couple of years.
Jokic has been hurting for a player who can play above the rim like Fareed. And although Grant really hasn't gelled with him, it would be so cool to see both Grant and Porter Jr. slashing for prettiest alley-oops from Jokic.
And the Nuggets are currently wrapping up their road trip as we speak against the Mavericks, which is a national TV game, which it's just better to watch the games on TV. And I've, especially with the Nuggets, been having a much harder time with streaming the last couple weeks, where I'm trying to get the streams that I'm not supposed to be allowed to get, and it seems like the NBA is starting to crack down a little more on the streams.
Yeah, it hasn't hit me. It hasn't been a problem for me. But I'm also being terrible in I'm telling everybody about those streams. So, yeah, at some point the hammer's gonna come down on us. But
altitude not there yet.
Nope. And it was just reported in the Denver Post from Mike Singer that that altitude approached Comcast before the beginning of the season with trying to get a 1-year extension on the deal that they had in place, and Comcast turned him down. So, you suck, Comcast. I'm not saying you don't suck altitude, but Comcast, you suck more in this arena. And where I'm just like, don't do your homework at the last minute. Like, get it done early. It really feels like altitude is dragging their feet, and Comcast, I think, is just trying to choke them out at this point so they can take over Nuggets broadcast. Because clearly Comcast knows that the Nuggets subreddit is growing exponentially. They want a piece of that pie.
Yeah, it's really sad to me all the people who are just like I haven't really been able to watch the Nuggets this year and watch the Avs this year who want to. Like it's a good sports town. The Broncos, are out and weren't that good, and this is January 1st is when this becomes a Nuggets and Avs town.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe not on some of the radio stations, but everywhere else that's where people really get invested. And in the good years, this is when we got invested, where we were like, we're giving the Broncos a good amount of attention during the Peyton Manning years, and it's like playoffs, you get a bye week, and then you only play a couple games, and this is where you're like, okay, the season's really starting, and it's not starting for so many with the TV market.
It's dumb. And the Nuggets don't seem to play super great in the national games, so we just need that hometown mojo, but it's not coming from our hometown broadcaster. So, do we have a high note to end on, or can I just continue to sip my tea?
No, I think you can keep sipping your tea.